would you lead us off with the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Guess it's that time of the year, we just shut the air conditioning off, so.
I just figured we didn't pay the bill.
No, we didn't pay the bill, we're in good shape financially. BIDMA, special events, come on up. BIDMA budget special events, yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Doing well, John, thank you.
Very good. You think it was summer out there?
Beautiful today, though, less humid than yesterday.
As of this morning.
Yes, as
At
of this
5
morning.
a.m. this morning, the humidity was terrible when I got up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was terrible. Thick. And then, but it,
Oh, it went away by the time to make it out to the bus
Oh,
stop.
it's-
6:20,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
gone
it
and
was,
clear.
yeah.
It was foggy and all that, yeah.
But last night was amazing. It was just, you could see
You could
the
breathe it,
moisture in the
yeah.
air, the little raindrops in the air. It was incredible.
not in a good way.
No, not a good thing. Not a good
All
hair
right.
night, that's for sure.
What do we got here?
All right, so first things first, we can start to look at the Live on 25 budget, and you'll see that
Jill, do you want
corresponds
us to?
to, and that transfers over to the actual bid budget
Okay.
itself. So you'll see in regards to what we're projecting for revenues coming in is down a little bit, and primarily that's due to the first 2 years we had. First year we had funds in from a grant from Taste New York, and last year we had about $5,000 left from that first year. So generally, it's about $5,000 less because we don't have that grant for this year. But generally, in the end, we kind of kept it the same. We're projecting to be ballpark same with when it comes to vendors as well as 10 participants.
Good.
Okay.
So, what does it cost?
We're projecting revenues just under 10,000, and again, that's with sponsorships projected to be in there, but on a conservative level.
Okay.
The,
I'll tell you what, though,
Like that's why you don't see a live on
they wanted
25
to
budget
know
in
if,
there,
a
because
donation
it's separate from
is
taxpayer
available
funds.
to them.
okay.
And you'll actually see where they're transferring money into the account from a live on 25.
Hold on, one conversation.
If a donation might be in line towards them for 5 nights of whole day volunteers being done. It's tough to get guys to free to go
Absolutely.
down there, so they just mentioned it yesterday, so they would bring it up here.
Okay.
Yeah, we get a little.
I just want to say, Live at 25 is great, and knock on wood, we don't have a problem down there. People enjoy listening to the bands. I'm getting very good compliments on them. And town board takes the credit, but you guys do the work. So I want to thank you guys, but other people don't know who you guys are. So
I don't
they
take
have
the credit.
No one
I tell them, it's not us.
I don't take the credit, I just like to go for the time.
See that?
That's great.
Great
We had that
run.
fun mural that we
Okay,
did
yeah.
this year. You see it when you drive by the farmer's
Thank you
market
very
building.
much.
It's cool, right?
So
All right.
Tim, I just want to explain what I was saying to John. You don't see the Alive on 25 budget in their overall budget because when Steve and I spoke to Bill Rothar, he said, since it's not taxpayer money,
Right?
it's raised money, you'll actually see money that they transfer out of that account into their
To cover some of the expenses.
annual expenses.
For the Halloween fest is what I put it in for.
Right.
So that's why you don't see Alive on 25 broken out within the budget
Sure,
that
it's the
you'll,
same way
that
as
you'll
the
end up approving.
225th
Right.
committee, but.
Yep, it is listed on this side over here. You can see the revenues, but yes, it's not.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at the budget, overall
I should
budget.
have Dan down here. Just because he'll do the resolution approving the budget and your events.
Who was,
Councilman?
The
Oh,
clerk.
Diane, I think she's doing the resolution stuff.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll catch up with him afterwards.
Who?
Dan, to do the resolution if you guys are approving the budget.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's go through this.
Okay, let's go through it.
Okay, so pretty much the biggest change that we have this year, after some deliberation with the bid board, the biggest item was the farmer's market, whether to continue with that or not. Now that Diane and I have been fully through the farmer's market and understand expense-wise, it was quite a bit of an expense. Also having the additional 6 months that we're paying for the rent tacked onto that, it just really did not make it economic sense for what is bringing downtown. So we are still considering it. They're still in the talks with the bid board. We would like to move ahead with this budget without it.
But I did make this advice, made them aware of your conversation.
Yeah, I read
Yes.
the,
Is it helpful?
It still runs at a loss even at that, which, again, it doesn't necessarily need to make money, but at the same time, it makes it.
It can't be a drain on the other accounts.
Right. So in the end, that money that we took away from that, we're putting potentially towards either capital improvements or other grant match. So if we did do the farmer's market, we would have to take it out of that.
okay.
I love the capital improvements.
Greedy landlords wanna charge you for a year for 6 months worth of use.
But to be
So
fair,
now
to
we're
be,
not
can I
doing
just-
that.
to be fair, they did call back to reduce the rent and set on a month-to-month,
And
then
and they
month-
could cancel whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
That just came back
I
after they
read your
found out they
email,
were
so-
canceling.
After they found out they were canceling, I'm sure they did.
So even with the reduction, it still runs at a loss, but we're still looking at other
But
options.
can I ask you a question? What do you charge the vendors?
$450 for the season. It's
Okay,
26 weeks.
can you raise that?
See, our problem is, in order to make it sound on a financial standpoint, we'd have to have more vendors. We can't have more vendors because there's no fire systems in there, so we're limited to the number of people there. So we can't increase more vendors. We can't charge the vendors more money, A, because, if we did charge, we'd probably put more towards marketing. B, there's no heat in the building, so it is what it is. So it's really not the best building to host
Nope.
something like that.
And we have, and that's my understanding, that some of the vendors are looking to potentially identify a different site in Riverhead and continue to have the farmer's market in some capacity.
Yeah, 'cause the vendors like it, they are making
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
So, I
Oh, yeah.
mean,
And they've already been reaching out to our office.
that's why I'm saying, maybe you can
there's-
raise them a little bit.
There's the
you
farmer's
know.
market in Sag Harbor, that's actually owned by the actual vendors. So you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
wow.
if it's something that
Yeah.
makes sense, that they can figure out on their own and still have it downtown,
Great.
so there are other options. Again, we're still having communications between the bid board as to.
So if
Trying
they,
to offer our support however we can,
Mhm.
so.
so if they could do it on their own, and we offered some support, even if it was a little bit of financial.
Or marketing or something along those
Marketing.
lines.
Then it would be, might be,
Absolutely.
I think that the idea, the concept was great, and I think it's even better to wean them off of the bid, if you will, and do it like a co-op. I mean, some of these things run their course, and if ones that are good, it would be nice to see them spin off and run on their own, so that you guys are free to pursue other things.
Right.
Um,
Do we have a copy of the paperwork? So, Councilman.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I don't need it.
Let's see, what do we,
All right, so generally, for $5,000, we have allocated it under advertising, and that's for a grant match through East End Tourism Alliance. We're in the process now of doing a video grant for all of Riverhead, and they're asking for contributions from the bid, as well as the chamber, and other private businesses to put money towards that. And what that'll do is, they already started shooting certain videos. They're doing downtown, they did a live on 25 with the
They have
drone
great
video.
footage.
They're doing farms, they're doing Splish Splash, the aquarium, and it's really heavy-duty marketing, and with 60-second ads on TV. And this is a great opportunity for us, and really makes sense for downtown. So the board was all in favor for putting these funds towards that.
cruise nights don't cost us anything?
Nope, the only cost last year, actually 2 years ago, was to have the DJ down there. The restaurants didn't necessarily want the DJ.
Right, they want them
They
to
wanted to
come
do their
in.
own music.
Right.
The DJ also set up the event for us and roped off the section.
Is Ray Dickoff doing it now?
He took that off, so there's zero cost for us
Right.
at this point.
And all the marketing, I just wrap into the general budget part of overall marketing for downtown.
So kudos to Joe's Garage for
Yeah.
Yeah,
taking it over.
absolutely. It's been very successful.
I don't, does anybody else have any other questions?
No,
And then you'll see on the second
I
page
think-
are the events that they're proposing.
but I think, all these events were great. I mean, the fireworks people like them. So
I think
anything
they're-
you do down there, it brings people down to town. The restaurants do well. And, I think just have to keep it up.
Doing a great job. What
Thank
what's
you.
your tax revenue? Is it the
111,201. Back down here on the bottom. That's the tax levy.
Okay.
You're staying out of the red.
And then the 60,000 is additional money that you that you're, because your budget's 171, so you're raising 60,000 roughly?
Yeah, so that's from Alive on 25.
Okay.
But that's without the revenues expenses taken out of it.
Right.
That's really,
So it's really the 988,250.
And how
right
do you,
here.
how do you raise money on the,
65 cents
Halloween,
goes there.
Mhm.
fest?
Excuse
you
me?
can ask Diane that.
How do you raise money on the Halloween fest? The sponsorship?
What's your
So
revenue?
there's minimal costs for registration for the coffin
Oh.
races, but that really goes towards like t-shirts or
It's
something along those lines.
$9,800 you're raising.
Tell you,
So that's from Alive on 25.
No, here, down here.
Yes.
Says-
So what we're saying is we're allocating these funds right here, from this right here. We're allocating that to cover the cost of the
Oh,
Halloween
you
fest.
can bring that over there.
'Cause
Okay.
this is self-funded.
Yeah,
It's a different
Yeah.
column on the end altogether, John, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So at the 225th anniversary, as we were coming out of the Suffolk Theater, there were a couple of people that I ran into that saw the flyers for the coffin races, and they said they're coming back. So
Yeah.
it's good that you posted the flyers throughout town, because they're very excited about it. Some people were from Brooklyn, they were staying at the Hyatt, and
Yeah.
Thank
then
you.
other people, yeah, they're coming back for the race. So,
I think
yeah.
it's gonna be wildly successful
Yeah,
and really,
yeah.
what's going on out there in the community, the names of people coming up with teams, it's a lot of fun. And I'm putting it out there that these events for Halloween Fest, the parade, coffin races, I want people to
Don't
come
give
from
this.
New Jersey, wherever they wanna come from to
Every
participate in
people.
this. It's just, it's open to everybody.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Did
thank
you
you.
get a chance to ask the businesses if anybody was interested in painting their windows
No, I
for
never got a
Cancer Awareness Month?
letter
You never got a
to
flyer
send.
from Christine? Okay,
Sorry.
that's okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Oh, you're staying up for,
Well,
the,
Steve is at, people want to
Oh.
do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane.
Thank you.
Lisa? Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
You might as well stay. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
So, this is the continuation of our discussion on the, spending of the funds
Morning again.
for Suffolk County downtown revitalization. I think it was round 15, I think.
13 or 12.
It's
a
an old-
couple
it's an
years
old
ago.
one. We need to spend the money.
Yeah. So, as you may recall, we discussed and, Weedell Signs did our design, so Lisa has the designs, to share with you this morning, and, I think you'll be happy to take a look at what we're looking at. So these are the wayfinding signs. They'll be consistently, designed with modifications for location, obviously. But those would be the things that would catch your eye when you
One
come
more.
to town
That's Steve.
and direct you to different places.
Thank you.
Make sure you know where the parking is and, look attractive and beautiful
I love them.
at the same time.
And
one
so,
thing that
I just
the-
wanna, can I just give you some of the background? So, when Lisa was starting with the design, she was saying that let's try to implement, like your lamppost, let's not try to compete with your lamppost, let's try to incorporate, exactly, complement the lamppost, so.
It does.
doing that. And then, all right, I'm sorry, Jody, go ahead.
That's okay. So the Architectural Review Board thought that the font for the Historic District and then for the aquarium and East End Arts, that it should be the same font.
Do you wanna explain what?
Well, I just thought the font we used on Historic District kind of had a more
I like that
historic
better.
feel to it.
Honestly, I don't
We
like-
did look at it in the block,
Why did you
and
do
then the
this?
informational
I'm sorry.
part would be the block lettering.
Yeah,
That was just my concern.
the Landmarks the other night had recommended that because they do the walking tours of the Historic District, that they would put up smaller signs
Right.
with the
The QR code.
QR
Yeah.
code that would tell you about the house, and they were saying that they would probably need anywhere from 25 to 30 of those at a cost of, I think they said $50 each is,
That's what we're hoping to
Something.
piggyback on, with,
Yeah.
and Steve was saying, he thinks that if this is successful and we get this money spent, because we need to spend this money
Yeah.
for, because I don't want us applying for new money until we spend our old money.
I get it.
So once we get these up and going, we think that that would be an excellent, especially since the Landmarks already has, I guess, the walking tour figured out with old pictures.
Yeah.
that it would be an excellent thing to piggyback off of this project.
So I'm just asking if we can hold anywhere from, you know,
Oh, it's not that much money.
$2,500 out, or, cause I think the grant is 113,000.
So I think,
65,000 plus the 20% match from the bid, so 13,000.
so I think what we wanna do is get some consensus on style and design, move
Right.
forward. No, we're never gonna make every single person on the planet happy, so we're gonna
Right.
work with what we have. And I think if we can get, then specs, then we'll decide how many we could buy, then we can use the BOA to help us identify the most important locations to start.
Especially with
And
parking.
then the next phase would be whatever else we need plus, I think that, but if we can work something out like that quicker, then we'd certainly do, but I think we're not to that point yet where we can do that. The other thing that we were working on is branding. So we have our town seal, and we all love our town seal, or some people don't love our town seal, but most people love our town seal. So Lisa worked on some
You
branding.
don't love our town seal?
I love our.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't.
I definitely do. But it's a little,
No, I thought the idea was to have
Now, I was
something
just gonna
different for
ask you
downtown.
about that.
yes, different for downtown. So the objective was to not use the town
I was
seal
gonna ask you about that.
on this district signage.
I need one more.
And we thought we could
There
get
you go.
something a little more updated,
So
so
I
Lisa
saw it
came
on
up
the
with a
slide
great,
here.
I think, way, and I think that the Compass
And I
Rose
was
is nice
wondering what
because
that
it's
was.
all roads lead to Riverhead. And it gives us that maritime, feeling also, so I think it turned out very
I was
nicely.
gonna say, why is this and not the town seal?
Well, I think you use the town seal for certain things, but we're trying to, sort of rebrand our
Downtown.
downtown area. So to give it a different logo is important, and, you could see that on a T-shirt or a nice canvas bag, or versus, the seal, which is lovely, but more official. So I think we're trying to,
More of a tourism
Yes,
type.
exactly.
Well, it looks nice on the signs because it gets your attention
It does.
to the side.
yes,
And that's why I was gonna ask you why that was up there.
yes,
And then you gave
and
us
that's
this.
why, and I
So,
meant to
yeah.
give you that. I think-
I like these signs. I just got a couple of questions.
That's just
The
an example.
parking sign, you have 3-hour parking in the green. Are you gonna put the yellow and the red?
Yes,
the
so
same
these
thing?
are just, again,
Just explain what
this
they
is
are.
just like concept,
Okay.
but once we get down to the nitty-gritty, where the signs are gonna be, where they're gonna be pointed to, how many we can afford to buy with the money that we have currently, then we'll really get into what they'll say.
Like,
exactly.
behind the big lot will be green and white.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
yeah.
be three colors.
Yeah.
And it'll actually be explained.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just wondering why the green
It's
had
just to show you.
something and
Yeah.
but with just,
Yeah.
I'm trying to use my common sense. I'm trying.
So the,
I'm trying.
the consistency will get rid of some of the visual clutter we
like these
have
signs.
on the main
Yeah,
street,
I
we're
like
trying to
them.
like unify
Who
the
designed
theme,
them?
and I think this turned
You
out
did, you
beautiful.
designed it, they're very nice.
As far as the font goes, Lisa, with the block lettering, I think it's a lot easier to see if you're driving a vehicle and you don't have a lot of time to
You wanna
read
pass it
real
to
quick.
paper?
It's gonna be easier to read rather than doing it in this style. This style for the main sign, I get that. But the block lettering,
Yeah,
I
and I
think it's
think
easier.
informational part.
If you're walking, it doesn't matter, but if you're driving and you're looking and reading, this is gonna be easier on the eyes for the motorists to read and
I
follow.
agree.
And tying in with the lampposts, one of the things that Diane's been helping facilitate is talking with Townscape. So the plan is to work with them to get actually lamppost banners that also work with this.
Excellent.
So,
And that's signatic. They're gonna go sideways
so
rather than into the
So,
street.
When you started with this design, did anybody share with you the results of the BOA study where we spent many, many hours with branding and trying to come up with a logo and trying to come up with, different ideas? Was that information shared with you? No.
So the branding that was done for the BOA that is on the web uses a very bright red color, and the lettering is in cursive. So I think it's not easy to read on signage, so we sort of worked on making it more legible. Because if you see what's on there, that's the way.
Very modern, ultra modern, and we're trying to
Yeah.
keep it the historic
The
district.
signs.
But in regards to the Nelson and
Give
Pope
me
study,
a couple, I wanna give them to
there is
newspaper.
one part of that study that tells about wayfinding signs with parking, and we are very much so looking at that, because 65,000 plus the bid match will only get you so far, so we will need to prioritize what signs we can
Yeah,
use.
because they've mapped them all over, there's a map within the
Yeah.
BOA, so we did look at that to see where the most important placement is, for sure.
I was just wondering about the branding, because we did belabor that at our meeting.
I gave mine to Buck, so I need one.
It is very beautiful.
I say we move
Yeah,
forward.
no, give me,
I'll give you this one.
Yeah, and I think, and we've discussed also that the design can evolve a little as people get a
Thank
little
you.
more, using it and placement and things, and but we need to start and get moving, because we wanna spend the money, we wanna get the signs up as soon as possible, so
they have-
we're marching quickly.
I love it.
Okay,
So what do we need to do next?
So the next thing, we'll get into some specs on what they'll, the actual materials and the cost and
the
things like
course
that.
and everything.
Sounds like the board likes it.
I like it.
Great.
It's good.
Okay, good.
Did a good job.
Email these
Thank
to
you.
Richard, right?
I didn't email them yet, I didn't have that email, so,
Okay.
and also we added the green to it, so I didn't have the most up-to-date, but as soon as I get it, I'll send it to them.
Okay.
I do too. I like to look at them, but I think for reading or probably driving, that'd be the easiest.
And that's what- yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Comparison, I can show you the difference.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you put the green in to at least pick up some of the colors in
Yeah.
the town.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
everybody.
Thank you.
All right,
Very good,
is
thank you.
Chief coming for the multi-jurisdictional hazard? Because I don't remember. All right, so,
Who's Dave?
Bill, come on up. So I'm going to, I have to tell you, this budget, I'm really happy to deliver this. I'm probably prouder of this budget than any other budget we've done. And what I want people to understand is it's 100% balanced. Every single line in the budget is balanced. Every single thing is funded. And not only is every single thing funded, we were able to hire the new code enforcement officer. We increased the police department by 1 full-time officer.
275,000
There's-
for the new cars.
We always funded the cars, but basically what we did is, because the town is strong financially, we were able to go through for the first time, and I'm not saying this is not a lean budget, trust me, it's a lean budget, nothing, I joke with people, you can't buy a pencil in this town without it going through my office to get it approved. And that's how we're able to stay in the budget and usually save money. But what was interesting about this budget, it stays within the tax cap, about 2.6%. 2.76% with the tax cap and the brick and mortar increases. But we were able to go through and Bill had this concept and it really worked well. There are always lines that we've overspent and then we scramble around at the end of the year to try to figure out how to find the money. We were able to fund most of the lines that we've overspent. And it is, this board's done a lot of hard work in the last 8 years to get to this point, but this is, I mean, there's not a one-shot, you can't make a criticism of this budget and have it stand up to any scrutiny, because once you start crunching the numbers, you'll see it. And the average, because I know everybody in the press wants to know, the average increase to the taxpayer is $45. So for $45, you're getting an additional police officer, you're getting an additional code enforcement officer. We're not bonding for anything that we would, years ago, we used to bond for things like the police cars and road repairs and things like that. There's 2 issues that I'll say that are not in here. The sewer rent. We are still locked in this battle with Suffolk County and the sewer district to try to get the stabilization funds. We may have to come back to look at the sewer rents, because the county has drawn a hard line to try to stop us from getting the sewer stabilization funds. We're the largest, I talked to Michael, I think he told us, we're the largest non-county owned sewer district in Suffolk County. And we also are multi-jurisdictional. I mean, the hard line that the county is drawing on the sewer stabilization funds is really, they're treating the town of Riverhead, and by extension the town of Southampton, like wicked stepchildren. It's terrible. And the county executive should be absolutely flatly ashamed of himself for what he's doing to us. And he's holding back development in Southampton, because there's no way we're ever going to be able to extend the sewer district to the traffic circle in Southampton, and the county executive is directly responsible for this. And here's why. If we can't work this out with the county executive, we may have to come back and increase sewer rents by 50% this year.
For 18.
For 18, and it's not in the budget. but I'm letting the public know that the county executive should be ashamed of himself. And I hope the press writes about it, because that 25% of our flow comes from a county-owned sewer district, and they flatly refuse to treat us on par or with parity with the other sewer districts. So we may have to grapple with that. If we can't come to terms with Suffolk County before November 20th, I want the residents to know that it's the county executive and his budget that has screwed this town. And then the only other issue, and we're looking for other funding sources. I was told my idea. I want to try to open up the TDR, the Farm Bureau, and the TDR committee wants to open up the TDR program so we can allow TDRs to fall in Grumman and EPCAL. That was a $100,000 study, we believe. I could not fund that in here. So the program that I wanted to put it back on the developers and create a $25,000 fee. I'm thinking that town attorney's office kind of said, nah, you probably can't do that. But what the thought was is when somebody comes in and says, well, I want a restaurant here, I want this change of zone on Route 58, I want this, I want that, you would pay a $25,000 fee to go into the coffers to update the master plan and the TDR program. Probably not going to work. So we will, we haven't lost sight of that $100,000. There's some other fees we talked about. There's other things that we could do along the fire marshals. So there's some things that we may not put in the budget, but we're not done grappling with, because if we can figure out how to add a revenue stream in 2018, we can fund it. But other than the sewer stabilization money, did I mention the county executive should be ashamed of himself? Other than the sewer stabilization money that the county executive should be ashamed of himself, and the $100,000 for the upgrade to the or TDR program, we're fully funded and balanced. So
So just, excuse me, follow up on what the supervisor had said. We have 2 years, 16 and 17 worth of money due us, we believe due us, for the increase, to keep all residents capped at 3% increase in that district, okay? We're running out of cash in 18 if we don't receive it. That's why we're contemplating what happens before November 20th, because if it doesn't look like we're getting our 16, 17, and obviously then not the 18, we're not gonna have cash to pay in 18. And then the 19 increase is gonna be double what you're looking for now. So we just have to see how that plays out over the next month or so, and then the board can make a decision if the budget's gonna change for that $1.8 million is what it is. So I'm going to, because it's not gonna be a surprise to the county executive. We know that we're being treated unequally. And we are asking our legislators to carry legislation that forces the town of Riverhead to be treated the same as all county sewer districts. Legislation is in draft form. I haven't had a conversation with a legislator or Senator, Senator LaValle yet. The conversations are with Assemblyman Field, because this directly impacts our ability to help Southampton and Southampton with their revitalization. If we can't get the sewer stabilization funds, they're never hooking anything up to our sewer district. So what we're doing, and this is no surprise, Steve Bellone, so I'm letting you know now, what we're doing is we're going to be carrying legislation in Albany next year. Should I be successful? If not, maybe my opponent will be carrying legislation in Albany to force the county to pay us sewer stabilization funds in the same fashion that they pay the county sewer districts. Legislation's in draft form, and I have to tell you, we're 2 for 2 in getting special state legislation passed, so I have no reason to believe that I don't have the ability to get that special state legislation. Beware, Steve Bellone, you're going to be spending a lot of time in Albany if you're going to try to stop this from happening. But if Southampton and Riverside are ever going to come up to what we want to see, like our downtown Main Street, we have to get these funds. Southampton needs these funds, and so we're ready.
So, in the budget, your financial hardware software is in there, correct?
Larry, you got to turn that down.
I had asked Lori to put in a request for the workflow software for code enforcement and for building and planning? Do you know if that's in there?
Find out.
I
There's
just
a
wanna-
large
I
number
know.
in there. You're
Okay.
really-
She probably put it in there. She told me she was going to.
I know what was put in there is anything we needed to get off of the mainframe, and I know we did, part of that is tax receiver, which, we're actually paying for this year because it's set up first day after go live with it. I will check on both of those.
If I was understanding that Flanders and Northampton cannot join the sewer district because it's a special district in the town of Riverhead. That the state law won't let them join the sewer district.
So there's two ways to do it. You either amend the state law, which then we would be 4 for 4, because we're not gonna amend that law without becoming 3 for 3 with getting the sewer stabilization funds. There's two ways to do it. You can amend the law to allow the Riverhead Sewer District to sit in Southampton, which is what we have told the Southampton Board when they sat here a couple months ago, or last year, was it, however long,
No,
early
I
this
agree
year.
with that, yes.
That we would amend the budget, amend the sewer district lines to Riverhead Sewer District would sit in Southampton
Right.
and incorporate the county center.
Right.
Or we can do it under an intermunicipal agreement. I would not wanna do it in an intermunicipal agreement. I would rather have the county sewer district, town sewer district sit in Suffolk
Yeah,
County.
but
But
then
we-
they said they can't do that.
They can do
Because
it.
it's
Well, they
special
don't want to
district.
do that.
No, they told Southampton, we just got the letter from Southampton Town.
No,
I know.
you have to either create a special district.
Right,
Or you have to do an IMA.
yes.
But we're not gonna do either one until the county treats us fairly. Nobody's going to expend millions of dollars to upgrade, to put pipes and sanitary collection systems in Southampton. Southampton couldn't possibly afford it, and nor could we. So we are asking the county executive to treat us
Okay.
fairly. But you'll have opportunities to go through the budget. I mean, I just wanna hit the highlights, and I'm really, $45 for an extra code enforcement and an extra police officer and be balanced is, you have no
So
idea.
you're saying we're
Laura,
saying-
if you're successful, you have no idea what I'm handing you, because you have no idea what the bag of crud was handed me in 2010. So I look forward to, you guys sitting down and going through the budget.
Okay.
So we're staying under the cap.
You're staying under the cap.
Awesome. Because I remember when we first got elected in 2010, it was like a 6 to 8 year plan in order to get it fully balanced. So, and
We're
we
there.
just keep cutting back on spending and underspending the budget, and here we are. Good job.
Balanced.
So I will have, I'm printing them now. So officially on Tuesday, the clerk will hand over the budget to you, but I'm printing them now, so you'll have copies of them before the end of the day. Let me know, stop by and drop them off, so you can look at them. It's officially at the, clerk's office after this meeting.
Very good. Thank you.
I will check with IT by the end of the week, so by tomorrow, the end of the day, they should be on. Okay? You can get it over the weekend. I don't want you guys to be bored over the weekend.
I think that was it. Yeah, no, I think that was it. When you go through that budget, if you, I know you're gonna go through it, and Tim Gannon goes through it pretty thoroughly too. Of the three things that I ran on, I'm not trying to be political, I'm most proud of the fact that we balanced this. You guys can laugh all you want, but we had a 12% budget deficit in 2010. That's the same exact budget deficit Suffolk County had. And we have a balanced budget, and God only knows how unbalanced the Suffolk County budget is now. But we turned around a 12%. The CPF we turned around, the highway department is fully funded. It's amazing what we were able to do. The ambulance, we now have money and a revenue stream to build the ambulance district. The water district the budget's balanced. The water district had owed the general fund $1 million in cash. We turned that around. My budget message is this is simply an amazing accomplishment, and I owe it to a great deal to Bill Rothar for his financial wisdom. A lot of times I've said
Your
this, Bill.
financial wisdom, holy Moses.
Well, there was a plan, and over the years, keeping it within the cap. I know we pierced the cap minutely over the last 2 years, and balanced them when we did that, and now this is balanced to within the cap, so the plan worked over time.
Governor Cuomo?
You couldn't, you couldn't take that 12% in 1 year, so we wanted to do it over a period of time, and now it's happening, so.
You know, and what's amazing is, if you look at all the other municipalities that pierce the tax cap, they pierce them in huge ways. And I refuse to do that. We talked about this over and over. We discussed it. I refuse to do that. I said, we are going to, we are growing our way out of this deficit. And so the total of the amount we pierced is less than what Southold did in 2 years, is not even close to what Southold did in 1 year, or Huntington, or Islip. I mean, if you added them all together, they don't equal what Islip had to do. But, you know, the town, my message, we are 100% balanced and on firm financial ground, and it's, thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
That's right,
Good
you
job.
should shake his hand. Great
Good
job, Bill,
job.
thank you.
45.
Love
Okay.
All right, Bill, Chief, I know we talked about this multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. Does anybody from the press wanna look at it now like this? No, I'm not allowed to say it because my kids get a kick out of it. I want what I say, hazard mitigation.
Okay, good morning again, Chief.
Good morning, I'm back.
You're back.
Back. What do you wanna know about HM?
All right, so, we have to pass a resolution to adopt this as something, well, explain it to the board. You
Right,
explained it.
so about 10 years ago, 2009, I guess or so, we did a hazard mitigation plan, which, why that's important, because the federal government says we should have it if we want money from them. So when they have a declaration on a disaster like a hurricane or Sandy or something like that, they open up a pot of money for these plans, these hazard mitigation plans. If you don't have a plan, you're not eligible for the money. We have a plan that's benefited us already, Horton Avenue. It's also identified other projects that we would like to do over time. So as I say, that was written in 2009, along with the other towns in the county. It's due for review every 5 years. So this is just another
The
review.
review.
So, I wanted to ask you, because it was interesting how in Texas, when they had the evacuations and how they shut down all 4 lanes on the highway and made them all one-way, rather than two-way out, two-way in, they weren't letting anybody come in, essentially. But I'm wondering if we have any plans like that, if we should have any unexpected storm surges to make 25 all going one way and Sound Avenue all going one way back.
The supervisor and I have discussed that already, and there's that possibility if we need to have.
If we have to do it, I would order it, and we would do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had
Just-
we had
We
that
don't face
conversation.
the same things as, like Texas faces or New Orleans faces. Right, we're, probably the majority is probably high ground, so, our inundation areas are basically just our south coast, the one further south.
And even if you tried, when we, in Sandy, we talked about possibly turning Sound Avenue into one-way west, where are they gonna go? If Southold was evacuated, we would do it, but where are they going? They're never getting,
I really don't think you can put that into a plan, because every situation is different.
Right.
And you have to work with the situation you have. So putting something in a plan written down, we're gonna do this, it doesn't go along with a situation that you might come up against.
You can have alternatives based on
You know,
different
so-
types of events. So,
Yeah, I
just
don't
so
ever
that,
see that, a mass evacuation like that happening.
okay,
Not that it can, but I don't really see that happening.
okay,
I mean, maybe
Isn't
if
that
we had a
feedback?
nuclear power station at Shoreham or something like that, you might have that, but
okay.
Okay?
since that never happened. And
Thank-
we're outside the zone for, the Connecticut one, snowstorm.
Thank you, Chief. And while the chief is here,
Get ready.
on our traffic safety, our highway superintendent would like us to think about, and this is something to think about, that every street that's downtown only have parking on one side of the street. They're not wide enough to have parking on both sides.
Right, basically the north-south roads, so your east, Union, Maple, Spring.
oh, perfect.
Once we get our plan done showing where we're going to park people downtown, I think that's something that we should look into.
That's basically what we told them.
All right, we just thought we'd bring it up. Okay, thank you, Chief.
Okay. Thank you.
resolution, I think you have it. The highway superintendent apparently wants to sue the Riverhead Town Board under the section 189 highways by use. I'm gonna put it in the packet. I'm not supporting it. I don't know what the board's gonna do. We don't have a full board here. But I'll put it in the packet. This is basically a highway superintendent is gonna sue the town board, and there you have it.
I think that's the only way we can get satisfaction of if we're doing the right thing or if we're doing the wrong thing, as far as the law is concerned, is to have it
Have a lawsuit?
mitigated in
Okay.
court. You know, I mean,
Then you
What
can
are we
vote
gonna
for
do?
it. Then you can
But I
vote
thought
for
it
it.
was state law that we had to, if the highway superintendent requested funds for legal counsel, that we had to fund him, that
Jody?
under state law.
You can confer with the town attorney's office and get legal advice. I'm not voting for it. There's some specific provisions of highway law. We actually, under town law, section 32, we can direct the highway superintendent to do certain things, direct him by resolution, and he has no choice but to do them. We have, I'm not gonna say any more than that. If he wants to bring litigation against us, that's not in the best interest of the taxpayers, but I'm not voting for it, so we'll see what happens. We'll put it in the packet.
I
He has
think
to
it-
put
I
it in the
think it-
packet. We'll put it in the
I
packet.
think it's in the best interest of the taxpayers that we find out if we're doing the right thing or the wrong thing.
Yes, because
That's basically it.
a judge is well-seated to determine what is in the best interest.
But
The
he
judge
knows
is
the,
not a
no,
legislative body.
he knows the law. My contention is those roads were not used by the public for 10 years.
All that judge has to do is look at past practice.
That's what he has to, yes.
Yeah, but
Right?
that's why it should have
Doesn't
gone to the
stand a
judge, in my
chance.
opinion,
Guys, I'm
but.
putting it in the
Well,
packet.
that's it.
John, I'm
That's
putting the
it.
resolution in the packet. I'm putting the
Okay.
resolution in the packet. You guys can make your speeches when
Okay.
you vote for them.
Okay.
All right, resolution WS1, 2016 year-end budget adjustments.
For the police department.
Bill, what are we, 286,000 from claims payments to police overtime. What is this resolution? I mean, I know what it is, but since it's such a large resolution.
Yeah, so these are the 2016, the audit
Journal,
is complete.
Yeah.
So they're going through and we underspent certain accounts and overspent other accounts. So they're just cleaning everything up. We saved
Okay.
money on claim payments last year. So that's the account we're using really to fill all of the other lines that were overspent.
But we went over 118,000 for police overtime? We went
Yes.
over that line, by that much money.
Yes.
How much did we spend for police overtime?
Well,
About 718,
there's a $600,000 budget, so about 718,000.
which is excellent. I mean, honestly, it's excellent. We had years when we gave the incentive,
Oh my gosh,
The-
like $500,000.
well, it
Okay.
didn't go a $500,000 over,
It was
but.
900.
And then when we took office, it was like $1 million a year, but, so the incentives caused the overtime to go up, but we saved money. Having a fully staffed police department now with 86 having the additional officers, having a fully staffed
We have 11 dispatchers.
dispatchers makes a huge difference.
Okay.
And you can't predict the overtime
Right, you
for the
can't.
police department, I mean.
But you
two
don't know what's
that.
gonna
It's
happen.
that-
That's the
No,
same
but
way
when
with
you look
closing
at
highways. You can't
$1
predict
million,
closing the highway. Okay. No,
But
that was my only
we've
question.
done things to try and hold back on the overtime, such as increasing the dispatchers' salaries
Right.
and certain things like that, so that they don't wanna bang in sick and they come, and because that, we spend a lot of time
And we
in the
give them the
radio room.
overtime instead of police officers, yeah.
Yeah,
We
Yeah,
have
118 is
11
not a big
also.
deal.
yeah.
I mean, that's a very good number. That's good management of the police department,
Yep.
given the circumstances that we don't always know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yep,
So that's the next several of these, they're all just cleaning up. When you see 2016, it's cleaning up 2016's final number. after the-
Okay.
Time, snow removal, okay. We good with that, guys, highway?
Yep.
Parking fund, budget adjustment, appropriate fund balance, claims payment, contractual parking lot expense.
Okay.
Okay, good, guys?
Yep.
For recreation fund budget adjustment, personnel services, 2 seasonal employees, good?
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
personal services.
you have a question on that one?
I just wondered how he had another 250,000 left over in personal services and seasonal employees.
It's that 114 should be to the right side. That's going to, so it's 131 and 41 going to.
Yeah, it's in the wrong.
It's going to
That should be moved
114.
over the
Yeah,
next
seasonal
column.
employees.
Move that
Okay.
column.
All right. Yeah.
Five is okay, yeah.
Police equipment budget adjustment.
And all the lines add up, right, so we don't have to have our school teacher Sal come up and say that the
Sal, yeah.
the numbers are off.
Good with set 5?
Yep.
6, accept security from Brixmore Riverhead Development LLC, the Shops at Riverhead Foundation addendum.
Okay.
Good?
Yep.
7, authorizes town clerk to publish and post a notice for public hearing regarding U.S. HUD Community Development Block Grant CDBG 2018 funds. We have to hold a public hearing, and
Yeah, we did.
we're gonna hold it. When are we holding it?
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
October 5th.
Oh, October 17th.
17th, yeah.
Eight, authorizes town supervisor to execute deduct change order number 1 for highway metal storage building.
Okay.
Okay, we good with that?
Yep.
That's the change order. Nine, awards bid for streetlight and traffic signal maintenance parts.
Now, I just found out today that that we do the maintenance on the traffic lights on 58, for the, changing of the red to green for the ambulances, and
Well, we're,
that we do the maintenance on them.
we haven't signed some of the maintenance agreements because some of them, the law does not require us to do that. So as those expire or new ones come up, we don't sign the agreements, because the law does not require us to do that. The county tries to make us do that. So there's a couple of them that we don't have maintenance agreements with. Those are the ones that are specifically 100% county lights, like between shopping centers, between Lowe's and Home Depot as an example. We don't have an agreement to maintain that. That doesn't mean if we get called out, we don't maintain it, because
Yeah.
we want it to be functioning.
And we want to be safe.
But that's another example of the county putting traffic lights on that are wholly county-owned roads, no town influence at all, that they try to get us to pay for. 10, ratifies the appointment of an intern to the police department.
It's okay.
Justin.
One of our interns is now a police officer that
That's
we
right.
had.
Yep.
So it's good training, and something, if he likes it, he continue on that service.
It's true. 11, appoints call-in clerks to the Recreation and Senior Department.
Okay.
Ray, how do we, Mary Flood, who works for us, Ray?
Yeah.
Mary Flood, that works for us full-time,
She doesn't work full-time. The first three on that they're labeled seasonal now. So now we're putting back the label as part-time call.
Isn't Mary a full-time employee, though?
No, Liz,
Oh, Liz, I'm sorry, confusing.
We have two of them.
Yep, got it, okay.
and we're gonna use them as floaters, so.
That's fine.
They don't even have consistent hours, so.
So a lot of these have been with us for years.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Mary's
We'd love
been
to get
with us
Mary
for
Moore
years.
And Donna, but we don't have the budget for it.
Yep.
They're happy with what they're doing.
Okay.
All right, 12, authorizes attendance at the 12th Annual New York Association of Municipal Purchasing Officials of Long Island Regional Conference and Trade Show. Larry and, I guess, Anne Marie.
Who's
going
going?
to go.
Larry?
For
And
that
Anne Marie,
shared
because-
services thing?
They're they're kind of filling in for, our purchaser,
Mary Ann.
Okay.
Mary Ann, so,
Okay.
much to both of their chagrins. 13, extends contract non-pro-tunc for Youngs Avenue
Actually,
landfill
this is not gonna
post-closure
cost us too
inspections.
much, it's being held in Riverhead.
That's good.
Alright.
We didn't extend this back in this July of 17, so
Okay,
we're going back and extending it.
yep,
This is a contract for the sampling of
Okay.
the landfill.
yep.
How have our tests been coming back? I guess I'll check with Drew, because after a period of time, we're supposed to not have to inspect as periodically as we were. Those inspections should reduce it. So, are we
You
at
should
that
talk
point
to
yet?
Drew.
Okay.
14, approves a Chapter 255 application of Alzheimer's Disease Resource Center, 6th Annual East End Walk for Alzheimer's and Country Western Fall Festival, Saturday, October 14, 2007.
That disease is a living hell for people who have it and their families.
Spirits
So anything we can do for those is
Promise
great.
at Blossom Hollow Farm. What farm is that? Is that the one across from Ostrander?
It's the one that's
Osborne, rather?
2746 Sound Avenue.
Yeah, that clears my,
I don't know, it might be.
Does anybody know where Promise, Spirits, Promise at
Yes, that's at the end of
Then
Osborne.
Osborne?
Oh, is it?
It's the end of Osborne.
Okay.
You run right into it on
Yeah,
Saturday.
so that's the
That's what I
farm,
thought.
the horse farm,
Yep.
Okay.
yeah. They do a good job there. They rescue horses.
Okay.
They have major.
And they bring your hospitals out for patients to ride the horse, pet the horses and make
They
friends
don't
with them.
ride them.
They don't ride them.
No.
They pet them.
15, authorizes the town of Riverhead to
I was
direct
wrong on that.
Gonzalo
riding.
Pereira to remove all litter, garbage, refuse, rubbish, yard waste, weeds, noxious plants,
Northwoods
grass,
Road. Where is
and
this?
rank vegetation in excess of 10 inches in height upon the premises known as 56 Northwoods Road, Calverton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 80-2, Lot 3.2.
Okay,
We good?
yep.
16, approves Chapter 255 application of Costco wholesale retail Christmas tree sales.
I don't think they need this anymore.
I don't think so either, but we keep
Huh?
seem to keep doing these things.
They keep
Someone
doing
had
it,
to file
huh?
it, right?
Well, we'll take it. I don't have
Okay.
a problem with them selling Christmas trees, I mean.
Yep.
17, approves Chapter 255 application of East End Rowing Institute Limited Snowflake Regatta, Sunday, November
Yeah, people should go down and watch this. They're very interesting to have these contests down at the parking lot.
One year I went, it actually was flurrying. It was so cold.
You have to
That's
get up
it.
early
Huh?
in the morning.
The true snowflake regatta.
It was flurrying.
Yeah.
18, assumes lead agency determination of significance pursuant to SECRA and adopts local law to amend Chapter 301 entitled Zoning and Land Development of the Town Code of Riverhead.
So
Oh, this
this,
is
I
the
think,
landmarks
is the,
preservation.
yes, because Secra was finalized, and I asked Jeff to get this resolution in, so thank you, Jeff. I know he's been away, but I think he's back today, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so I'm glad that's in there. Hopefully we'll get some of our historic structures on Main Road purchased and fixed up, because it allows them to build a building in the back for office spaces or uses that are permitted in the RLC, and it's a good thing. So, thank you, board.
Okay.
All right, good. 19, designation of town landmark pursuant to Chapter 245, 241 of the Riverhead Town Code, Second Street Firehouse, we're good with that. Was that one that was in question?
I'm going through right now.
Yeah, is that taken out, that one?
Yes, I'm sure.
Designation of a landmark pursuant to 241, the Riverhead Town Code, Elks Lodge.
These are the 6 other ones, correct?
There's only
Well, there's
4 here.
Four now?
There's
Another
4
one that we
here.
took out.
There's only
DC
4?
For the Tuttle House on Tuttle Lane.
I think we discussed this numerous times. Can we just approve them all at once?
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't do that at this,
Northeast.
I would do these separate. Somebody might want them done separate, I don't know. 21, designation of town landmark pursuant to Chapter 241 of the Riverhead Town Code, J. Victor Wilson Barn. Designation, 22, designation of town landmark pursuant to Chapter 241 of the Riverhead Town Code, Yellow Barn by the schoolhouse. A schoolhouse by the, library. '23, awards bid for charter bus service for Recreation Department programs, charter coach transportation.
Going to Hipton and Jitney. Okay.
It's good that gets. There's not too many big, large coach operators around here anymore, right?
They're good, they're the best, we only wanted them.
Yeah.
We publicly bid it, 24. 2016 EPCAL Playground Improvement Capital Project Closure, 70162.
Looks okay to be returned to the Park and Recreation Fund.
Yeah, I mentioned that, we saved 17 grand on that project, because we scaled down the surfacing to fit the playground.
Which one was this?
That's
Oh,
the
EPCAL,
Veterans Park
okay,
Playground.
yep.
And you're gonna transfer it, the next one transfers it.
Yeah, we got a lot of requests from the pickleball people, the hockey people.
You put it in and you take it right out.
Doesn't stick around long.
All right, 25, 2017 hockey rink new surface budget adoption. Talked about that.
Who's doing
How long
roller
is that?
derby? Denise, you gonna be on the roller derby team?
I'll tell you
Ray, how
that.
long's that process to resurface it?
How long?
Yeah, is it just a day, or?
They could probably do it in 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, engineering got them all set up, we did the quotes, everything's done, it was just a transfer, and then we're ready to go.
Good.
Now, this weekend, there was kids in there, being taught, was it roller skate hockey?
Well, yeah.
Huh?
We're actually amping up the hockey, the youth hockey is picking up on the island.
Yeah, I think that was very,
Bring it over to
it looked
us.
very nice, and very good, that you were teaching these kids something up there.
Larry's like, what was the guy that ran the talk show that he ran around the floor? Phil Donahue. Larry's Phil Donahue with the microphone trying to get, all right, so
Okay,
we
I'll-
have just
I'll-
executive
I
session
wanna make a
stuff.
motion that we close the town, work session and open an executive session for personnel and litigation. So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
We forgot this
abstentions,
one.
motion carries. What's that? I said I'm putting it in.
That's the first one we did.
Okay.
Gone are the days when I did a budget. Remember the budget one where I stood on the desk and I tried to explain my vision and I
Yes.
put all the paper, and all the board looked at me like,